welcome back. We're just midway through our clam 90s, so I'm just going to come down again and get into position. So we've got our feet in line with our knees, our hips at 90 degrees from our side. We've got a slight gap between the waist and the floor, our head's on our arm. Just going to have a slight flare out from the hip, just a bit of a flare to keep our back in a neutral position. Okay, and we're going to continue with our clam 90. So we're going to inhale, T-zone, exhale, squeeze the feet together, lift the knees up to the ceiling. Inhale, lower it back down. Inhale, T-zone, exhale, lift the knee up, really squeeze that glute muscle, really feel it down in the sits bones, the deep hip rotators really triggering up. So if you'd like to make this a little bit harder, just squeeze those feet together, lift up the knees a little bit higher, making sure that we're not rocking our hips as we're lifting up our knee. We really want to maintain a stack in the hip bone to hip bone. So if we had a ruler in front of us, both of them would be hitting that ruler at the same time. We want to maintain the a gap between the waist and the floor, really pull away that hip from the shoulder. Keep those shoulders down and back as well, chin tucked. So we're exhaling as we're lifting up that knee. Inhale as we draw it back down. Really engage the feet to the glute. And inhale, rest it back down. It's good. Resting that neck on your hand, on your arm. And really activate that glute as you go to lift up that knee. Inhale as you're lowering. Exhale as you're drawing it up. Really activate the T-zone to stabilise the hip and the pelvis. Make sure as we're getting tired we've got a nice little flare out in our bottom. So then we're maintaining a nice neutral spine, not putting any pressure on that spine. Good work. Okay, let's do two more. Inhale, exhale, so we're lifting up. One more, inhale. Exhale, so we're lifting up, keeping those shoulders down and back. Good work. Okay, so we're coming on to our circle. So just leave one leg. We're going to bring the legs back into our clam 1 position. So our feet, hips, shoulders are on alignment. We've got a gap between the waist and the floor. Push the hip away from the shoulders to maintain it. We're going to just bring one leg out in a line with our body, so we're not going to really see those feet, just slightly at the side of our end of our gaze down. We may see the feet. So we're going to inhale, T-zone, exhale, we're going to lift that leg up, extend it behind on the exhale, inhale around. So we're going to inhale for a couple of circles, exhale for a couple of circles, great. So let's just maintain that. Keep going. This is a really good exercise for those glutes. You want to keep the knee facing forward. You want to really point through the toe. We want to really pull that hip down. We want to maintain a stack between our hip bones. Don't want it to go forward and back as we're moving our leg. Really switch on the T-zone and maintain stability in our pelvis. So if you want to make this harder, you can bring the leg up higher and wider behind you, but we don't want the back to tuck as we're circling. Let's go the opposite way now. Let's go back behind us and in front. We want to we don't want to be tucking in our back at all as we're moving our leg behind us. Really engage that T-zone to stabilise our pelvis. We've just got a couple more here to do. Maintain the gap between the waist and the floor. Just keep that hand on that hip. Keep that flare out behind us at our bottom. So we maintain a neutral spine. Good work. It's getting hard, so remember to concentrate. Just one more to go. And rest that back down. Good work. Give that bit of a rub. From here we're going to go into an inner thigh lift. So we're going to bring this leg up and over. We're going to maintain that gap between the waist and the floor. Again, maintaining the stack between our hips, and if you can't, you can bring that leg down a little lower if you need to. You may not be as flexible, so that's fine. just as long as we maintain neutral spine, so a little bit of flare out in the bottom. Bring our hand here at the front to keep us stable. We're going to inhale, T-zone. Exhale, just lift that bottom leg up, pointing through the toes. Inhale, lower it back down. Exhale, lift that leg up. Inhale, lower it back down. Okay, let's just relax the shoulders. Let's maintain neutral spine, gap between the waist and the floor, keeping that hip away from the shoulders, keeping the stack on the hips to hips, hip bones. Inhale to lower, exhale to lift it back up. If you want to make this a little bit harder, on the inhale when you're lowering it down, don't lower it to the floor, don't touch the floor, and try, if you want to make it harder, to lift up that leg a little bit higher and maintain it up there a little bit longer. Inhale. If you want to make it easier, you can rest your leg back down to the floor between each repetition. Okay, that's good. Inhale and exhale to lift. Okay, remember to maintain shoulders down and back. Don't bring any stress up on your neck. Gap between the waist and the floor. Stack your hips. Bit of a flare out. Okay, keep that going. And let's do 3 more. 3 and 2, and after 1 we're going to leave it up high and we're just going to pulse. Going to really feel this. Remember to maintain the waist gap to the floor connection, not connection, the gap between the waist and the floor. That's good. Keep pulsing. 8 to do. 4, 2, 1. Rest that back down. Good work. Okay, so we've done all our side series. So starting back at clam 1, we need to rewind this tape and do all that again. So on the other side. So don't miss out on the other side. But now, if you have done all that, we're going to go into our pelvic curls. So we're going to come onto our back and coming onto our back, feet hip width apart, hands just down beside our side, shoulders down and back, and a slight chin tuck. We have a neutral spine. We're going to inhale T-zone. Exhale, we're going to connect the rib to the hip connection, and we're going to curl our pubic bone up into our belly button, and then come up to just the base of our shoulder blades, 1 vertebrae at a time. We're going to inhale there, we're going to squeeze our bottom, exhale, and then we're going to roll it back down. Okay, good work. Inhale at the bottom, T-zone, exhale, drawing pubic bone up to the belly button and roll up to the base of our shoulder blades, 1 vertebrae at a time. Hold it there, rib to hip connection, squeeze the bottom, and inhale, roll it back down. Shoulders down and back. Inhale, T-zone, exhale, pubic bone to belly button, roll it up 1 vertebrae at a time. Inhale at the top, rib to hip connection, squeeze the bottom, exhale, lower it back down, 1 vertebrae at a time. Let's continue, making sure that we've got our shoulders are down and back, making sure that we're not collapsing in our back. We're really maintaining a rib to hip connection at the top and squeezing those glutes at the top. And then exhale, roll it back down. Good work. If you've got any disc issues or lower back issues, you may like not to go 1 vertebrae at a time. You may just want to come up straight up and then straight down. If that's not comfortable for you, you may just have to not do this exercise. But what we do want to achieve here with those that don't have back issues is just a real rolling 1 vertebrae at a time. And as we're coming up to the base of our shoulders, we don't want to collapse in our back, so we really want to engage the rib to hip connection to really support our back. Really feel that glute max engage as you're up the top here, so you feel it extra tightening there. Exhale, roll it back down. Okay, let's do 2 more. Inhale, T-zone, exhale, pubic bone, one vertebrae at a time. Squeeze at the top and roll it back down. Good work. One last one. Inhale, T-zone. Exhale, pubic bone, one vertebrae up to the base of the ribs. Squeeze the glute and then rolling it back down. Alright, that's good work, guys. We're going on to our flight. So we're going to come over onto our belly. We're coming onto sort of upper shoulder and upper arm workout now. So just like to come over onto your belly with our legs straight and relaxed behind us. Just going to place our hands beside our side, and I'm going to have to talk to you through the floor. We're going to put our foreheads on the floor. We're going to inhale T-zone. Sorry, we're going to engage our T-zone. And as we inhale, we're going to lift our arms and our shoulders up off the floor. Our palms are facing towards the ceiling. And then we're going to exhale and just rotate from the upper arms, keeping out. We're going to rotate inhale for a couple and rotate, exhale and rotate for a couple. Okay, maintaining T-zone activation, keeping those shoulder blades down and back. If you want to make this harder, you can engage the rib to hip connection and bring up your head and just continue to inhale for a couple and rotate, exhale for a couple, making sure that we're not feeling this in our lower back. If we are feeling this in our lower back, just bring it back down to your forehead. Engage that T-zone. If you can maintain the rib to hip connection and support that lower back, just come up again, keeping those shoulder blades down and back, and you should really start to feel this now. Okay, let's inhale for one more time and exhale. And let's lower that back down. Good work. Okay, so we're going to come into tricep circles. So if you're unable to maintain time on your knees and your hands, you may like to do your tricep circles coming over to your back, onto your bottom. And here we're just going to come up and just go down and up like that. And otherwise we're going to come on, if you can maintain being on your knees, we just want your knees underneath your hips, hands underneath your shoulders. You're going to really push through the chest, as though the chest is trying to push through to the rib cage. That engages our anterior serratus activation as well. We're going to keep those shoulder blades down and back, push through the chest. On the inhale, we're going to T-zone. Inhale, we're going to draw the elbows back to our legs. Exhale, coming forward in front of the fingers and up again. We're going to inhale, draw those elbows back. Exhale, extend past the fingertips and exhale up. Inhale again, drop the elbows down to the legs and exhale forward and exhale up, pushing through the chest up to the rib cage. Inhale, bend the elbows to the legs. Exhale past the fingertips. Exhaling up. Inhale, drop the elbows back. Exhale past the fingertips. Exhale up. Now continue, as you're continuing and you're inhaling and drawing those elbows back, I don't want to see you pushing your back at your bottom. That's going to take it out of your elbows. You just really, out of your triceps. You're just really lowering your elbows down towards your legs and then exhaling forward. So really, it's only the elbows that are lowering, and your exhaling is coming out. Now let's do two more because it's quite a difficult exercise. Inhale, lower. Exhale, forward. And one more. Inhale, lower. Exhale, forward. Okay, very good. Let's come into our stretches. So I have our mermaid stretch. So if you're unable to maintain being on your knees, just come up on a chair and just bring your arm up, and as you're sitting on your chair, your arm's going to come up and we're just going to bring a stretch through our waist. Good work. And at the same time, we're going to give ourselves a tricep stretch and just lower the arm behind your back and stretch it out. That's good. If you'd like to intensify this stretch, we'll go into a mermaid stretch and just bring our feet to our knees. Bring the arm up, stretching it over. You can stretch that knee down, bring it up again and stretch out that tricep. And inhale and just open up that chest. Inhale, open up that chest. Making sure we're not putting any strain on that neck, so just kind of give it allow it to rest. Making sure that both our sit bones are on the mat. We just push down on that knee. This knee here, we can just push down just to intensify that stretch a bit more. And leaning up and over to really increase the stretch in our side muscles. That's good. Let's go over to the other side. Again, you can be on a chair, you can reach up and just leading up and over. Bring the triceps in by bringing the arm behind your back and bring this arm up and over onto your elbow. Placing both sit bones onto the mat. Inhale and just open up that chest and stretch up and out of your side waist. Relax your neck. Let's do that for a couple of breaths. That's good. We have one more stretch, which is our prayer stretch. So if you're unable to maintain being on, sorry, we have two more stretches. The prayer stretch, so you can use the back of a chair and just stand behind the back of the chair and just bring your arms forward and just lean out and into it. Otherwise, we're just going to come up to our knees, bring our hands forward, allow our tailbone to come down onto our heels and stretch our arms forward. And let's just breathe for a couple of breaths into this stretch. And lastly, we have the kneeling heel stretch. So we're just going to bring our right leg forward, so our knees just above our ankle, it's not in front of our toes, and we're just going to put our one hand on our back of our pelvis, the other hand in the front of our pelvis, and just going to push forward and just really feel the stretch in the hip flexor. So we're going to inhale, lift up, exhale, just allowing ourselves to push forward into that hip. Just maintain shoulders down and back. We're just kind of tucking our bottom under to really get more of a stretch in that hip flexor. Again, if you can't maintain being on your knees, you can do this behind a chair and be on your feet and just have a bit more of a lunge situation. So just really remember it's about pushing that tailbone under, not tucking the tailbone under and coming up and out. Another thing we can do is bring our arms up and over. Okay, let's go to the other side. Bringing this leg forward, knee just underneath the ankle, one hand on your back of your pelvis, one hand in your front, and just tuck. Shoulders down and back, and just tucking into that and breathing. And breathing into that, into the stretch.